We are so back, baby. So freaking back. I'm going to be real, guys. On a scale of 1 to back, we are so freaking back. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Kevin and Zach Reacts. The Baltimore Orioles win 9-1, baby. 9-1, 4 homers, 2 taters, and a partridge in a pear tree. My partner, Kevin Ostreicher, just kind of called a no-hitter for the Aberdeen Ironbirds. I don't know, but he's going to join us shortly once he gets back and ready to roll. So that's going to be just electric to talk about, but talk about electricity. We want to talk about some damn electricity. 9 runs, 4 home runs. The Orioles go 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Back. Corbin Burns, six innings, 1 run. Back. Yeah, and let's go even one. Let's go to the minors. Ironbirds, throw a no-hitter. Back. Jackson Holiday, 2 home run day. Back. I mean, has there ever been an organization so back? Has there ever? So in the comments, let me know. Has an organization ever been as back as the 2024 Baltimore Orioles are right now? This has gotten me fired up. Man, I miss doing this. It's been 4 days since we did Kevin and Zach Reacts, and I got 4 days worth of talking in me. So buckle up, people. Everyone in here knows, if you've been watching, I'm a huge Nathan Eovaldi guy. Massive Nathan Eovaldi guy. I think if he's one of those guys I would love to see the Orioles make a trade for at the deadline, but not tonight. Not tonight. Let's just go down the list. The Baltimore Orioles absolutely peppered the baseball. 11 hits. They had Gunnar 4 for 5, 4 singles, and he was robbed of what would have been his 5th single by Corey Seager. Adley, 1 for 4 with 2 runs. Santander, I mean, do we even got to mention Anthony Santander? 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Dude was just crushing the baseball. Ryan O'Hearn, incredible contact, 1 for 4, had a nice gapper that ended up being caught. Colton Cowser, baby. Colton Cowser, the Moo Man, when they announced his giveaway on the day they announced the giveaway, Colton Cowser goes boom. 2-run shot, and then I also really liked his second at bat. Very hard hit ground ball that the shortstop, I believe, made a really nice play over across the bag in second base. It happens. It feels like Cowser, even when he hits it hard, is getting robbed recently. But man, the whole entire team just felt like they were on one with something to prove. You know, we joked about it. I'm not even going to say we joked about it. Everyone said this team just needs rest. Whenever it got bad towards the end, it was just get to the saying was just get to the All-Star break. Just get to the All-Star break. How do the Orioles return to the All-Star break? 9-1. 9-1. Absolutely beautiful way to respond. Now let's go over to the pitching staff real quick. Corbin Burns, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits. Lost in all of this because obviously Corbin had 4 walks, but lost in all this was the fact that the Rangers only got 2 hits tonight. So impeccable, beautiful pitching by the Orioles all throughout. Keegan Aiken, 2 innings, 3 strikeouts. He looked great. Another Orioles pitcher hits a guy on the hand. Okay, listen, we're not a dirty team. We are not a dirty team, but like, we got to stop giving people this ammunition because like we do keep hitting guys in the hand. Like, it is kind of wild. Like, it's not intentional, but it is kind of wild. Whenever someone gets hit in the hand, it's us. Like, I'm just going to say that. Birch Smith, I'm telling you, this Birch Smith guy, I like what I see from this dude. I really freaking like what I see from Birch Smith. And let me tell you about it. Bert Smith, one, has been getting strikeouts with the Orioles. That's electric. Any strikeouts are going to be bonus. Bert Smith has by far and beyond the best ground ball percentage of anyone in the Orioles bullpen right now. I'm not saying Bert Smith is going to be a big part of this bullpen, but we have seen wilder things. Last year, Jacob Webb, random pickup off waivers. We obviously with Jacob Webb, Birdland minute, beautifully timed. This year's Jacob Webb, maybe he is. I've been loving it. I've been loving every time Bert Smith goes out there. He's getting ground balls and striking guys out. And when you're getting ground balls and striking guys out, that is a very, very good recipe for success. Orange Corner, see, Kerstead is back. All right, today is the 7th day, isn't it? So Kerstead did workouts today. He is eligible to come off the IL tomorrow, the 7-day concussion injury list. With the concussion, they are going to be iffy. Like they're going to wait for him to be 100% before they make that decision on him. But we got to bring on Kevin, put your food down. Kevin is eating chips in back screen. Jesus. Oh my gosh. Kevin, no hitter, odd striker. Straight from the no-hitter in Aberdeen, Kevin Oddstriker, how are we feeling?
Man, first of all, let me live with my chips, by the way. Let me live. But
you know what? You deserve it for tonight.
Thank you. But man, what a crazy day, man. Obviously, I wasn't in tune with the Orioles tonight, so I'm more so here for vibes. I know they dominated Texas tonight, but my prop
Kevin, all 9 runs were off the home run ball.
Well, that does not shock me. But my prop is Mark Antonini, the game notes from the no-hitter. So for those who don't know, Mike has a guest in the booth series, color commentator series, where he has different media members and people who cover the team into the booth in Aberdeen, the Ironbirds, to call a game. And Zach has done it. Yeah, that's a good one, Kieran. That's a good one. But so Zach's done it, Rocco's done it. I think Brad's going to do it, and Ryan has to get in on that too.
Yeah.
And so I picked tonight for my game. Mike gave me a schedule, and I said, all right, I'll take July 19th, first game after the All-Star break. And it was my, obviously, color commentator debut. And it was a combined no-hitter in Aberdeen. Zach Fruit started the game, and Kyle Bravitsky ended it. And it was crazy, man. I mean, the fact that was the night I chose.
Wild.
Unbelievable. So Mike has the scoreboard of everybody he has on and like who scores the most runs and everything. And Mike said, I think I definitely get the top of the scoreboard because
I would say I know you did. You didn't beat me in runs because I got 5, but it's hard to beat a no-hitter, Kevin. I'm going to be straight with you.
I was going to say because there were 4. And Mike and I were talking about it. There were 4, and I was like, "Look, the only way I can beat Zach and Rocco here is if the no hitter happens. I'm not getting it in runs, so it has to be a no hitter."
Yeah, if they would have, the other team would have gotten a single in the 9th, it would have ruined everything.
Especially with 2 outs. Like I was once it got to the 8th, like we've been through this with no hitters with the Orioles. It's just like that like feeling starts to set in, and that honestly the worst part was the bottom of the 8th. When the Birds were batted, because it's like no one cares. Just get to the 9th to see if the no-hitter happens.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
Dude, that'll be so I'm going back August 21st to do my second one.
Oh, nice.
I need to know ahead of time who is pitching to go down there and be like, you don't know what's on the line right now. Like you have to throw a perfect, no pressure.
Perfect game. That's right. The only way you can top it is a perfect game.
You have to throw, or maybe a 3-man combined no hitter. Like there can be no hits, dude. Like just go to them. Like, dude, listen, there can be no hits.
I don't care if your arm falls off. You're going 9.
Not a single. Walk them. I don't care. There can be no hits, my guy.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was crazy, man. So shout out to Mike, shout out to the Ironbirds. Literally got home here like 5 minutes ago. and hopped on. I guess fine. My other prop will be my chips, the Utz potato sticks, which by the way, you can't go wrong with the Utz. You've never had these before?
No.
Oh my!
Those look incredible though.
This is how you guys must feel when I don't know something.
Yeah.
The Utz potato sticks is these are the way to go. So these are my other prop.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. So just incredible vibes all around throughout the farm system. We were talking about Ironbirds throw a combined no hitter. Orioles win 9-1. In Norfolk, you have Jackson Holiday going 2 for 2 in his first 2 at bats with 2 home runs. I mean, man, what a day in Birdland, man. What a day in Birdland. And yeah, you want to talk about just the game? I'll give you a quick recap. Gunnar Henderson, up until his last at bat in the 9th inning, couldn't get out. 4 for 5, 4 singles. And he was actually robbed in the 9th inning of a single. Corey Seager made a really nice jumping catch on a line drive. So that was sad, but also Gunnar Henderson is really good. Tony had 2 taters. I'm not even going to call them tater, just missiles. They were absolutely destroyed. Colton Cowser with a bomb, 420 feet, and then Adley to lead it off, second at bat of the game. Got him. So the Orioles did, though, despite all home runs being all runs being via the home run ball, Orioles ended 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position tonight. So, Yeah,
it just, and we talked about it, man. It just feels like they needed a break.
Yeah.
Like just the reset. And we talk about like the mental aspect of this game. Like sometimes a break is good for you. And it's as good as that. So yeah, I'm pulling up the box score just so I can.
And I will say
maybe
now
pretend
were the 2 home runs of 2 of 3, were they both home runs? Maybe, but we're taking baby steps, Kevin. We said don't rely on the home run ball. At least we're hitting them with runners in scoring position now.
Yeah, and I'm pulling up the box score quickly so I can pretend to know what I'm talking about. And Tony 3 for 5 with 2 taters. Oh, Colt! I saw Colton had a homer. I saw Colton had a homer. I think that was earlier on, right?
Yeah, that was in the first. We went up 4-0 before Corbin even started out there.
And this is what I'm talking about. I know Corbin. I saw that just on the social media waves, the control wasn't necessarily there all the way tonight with the walks.
Yeah,
but it was again 2 hits, 1 run. And people are saying, "Oh, Corbin has no control," and Corbin's struggling. And he gives up 2 hits and 1 run. This is what I'm talking about, where a bad Corbin Burns start or a bad Corbin Burns start is an excellent start for 80% of pitchers. So that's just it's the expectation he's held to. So
yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And of course it was on a solo home run. So of course his 1 run wasn't even. It was just the classic Corbin Burns gives up a solo home run. So it really was. And I'm not sure if you heard, but our guy Birch Smith, another 2 groundouts and a strikeout. He's
nice. I see Keegan Aiken got 3 strikeouts as well. Yeah, two innings for him. So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I will say, Kevin, I'm not sure if you were on to hear it. Keegan Aiken was really good. The only guy we let on, and it was just nicked him. We did hit another guy in the hand.
The Orioles aren't beating the allegations anytime soon.
We are not beating. That's why I said I was like we're not a dirty team, but we have to stop giving people ammunition because it's the stats are piling up.
Yeah, they're not. We know they're not a dirty team, so I'm not worried about that.
But it is kind of funny now.
Yeah, Maddox screaming from the rooftops. Kevin Thuss and Eddie Jackson.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
First of all, you can check out my instant reaction over on Locked On Ravens. Show a little shameless plug over here. There will be some bonus episodes this weekend of that. So if you want some Ravens content, be sure to subscribe over there. And of course, Kevin and Zach reaction will also, once we get the other channel up and running, we will have our own reaction to moves like this. Yeah. But my initial thoughts are it's a great move for a third safety. Right. I know we're here talking Orioles, but great move for a third safety. And again, if you want more thoughts on it, head over to Locked On Ravens because I talk about it for about 35 minutes over there. But overall, I like it. They needed a safety and they got one.
No, I'm actually ecstatic about this move. I think questionable even a upgrade over Geno Stone as a third safety.
It's at least a 1-for-1. At least a 1-for-1.
So I was very happy with that. Let's go a little bit. we've been talking moves. We talked Ravens move. An unfortunate designated for assignment, or is it? Mike Baumann designated for assignment from the Seattle Mariners, and I know the chat is going to be 50-50 on this. Probably 60-40. Would you, and answer in the comments, would you bring back Mike Baumann if he made it to us on waivers?
I want to play this game by thinking about who would need to be sent down. So Birch Smith would be one of those guys.
Would it? I got. Let me pull up their options real fast.
Because Vespi's already down.
Yep.
Tate's already down. No, they didn't make any moves today, did they?
Nope. Tate is.
Right. So he's still down.
So
those are the two guys you would say, okay, that makes sense. So is it Smith? Is it
So it would be Birch.
Who's the other guy they brought up? They brought up somebody else, right?
Yeah, so he does not have a, but Natali, I could see them.
Yeah, well, they need to get Povich.
Yeah, yeah, so, I would see Natali would just need a DFA. So maybe you could send down Brian Baker, you could send down Keegan Aiken, you could send down Birch Smith.
Well, yeah, and again, Joe essentially says it here, right? Like, do you think Baumann is better than Baker? If your answer is yes, then obviously the 1-for-1 makes sense. Mm-hmm. If the answer is no, then is it worth it? So again, whichever side of the coin you're on there, that would be it, because you got to get Povich back up. And to me, that 1-for-1, Aiken does have an option, I believe.
Yeah, he has an option.
Okay, but I don't think they send him down right now. So
no, especially with them needing a lefty. So,
yeah. So I think that the most obvious would be the 1-for-1 of Baker and Baumann. So.
Yeah. I'm saying Caroline asks, when does Povich come back? Povich had to step in tonight in an emergency game. Actually, Chase McDermott, I don't even think made it out of the first inning. And so they had to bring in Cade Povich, if I am not mistaken, somebody
They don't even do the Google thing for minor league games. That is disrespectful.
Nope.
Well, they won 12-11.
Oh, that's such a minor league. That's such a Norfolk thing.
That is insane. They won 12-11. Yeah, McDermott went 1 inning, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. Povich came in for an inning.
Oh, he only threw an inning.
Yeah, it was Davidson who did It was Davidson who went 3. That's
okay. So I'm interested. That
Vespi blew the save. Tough scene, but they got the win anyway.
Oh, okay, they got the win anyway. So did Vespi get the win?
No, Gonzalez did.
Yeah, I was going to say props anyway.
No, although Vespi, maybe he ran out like Craig Kimbrell did on
you know what? He probably did. I bet he did. Yeah. So we'll be. How did Povich do in his 1 inning? If you have the box score up still.
I think it was a walk or a hit. Gave a walk. So 1 inning, 1 walk, and a strikeout.
Shocking.
And Joe, the Wi-Fi was being really weird at the stadium tonight, so the broadcast was going in and out. So it was like going in for some and out for others apparently. So that was unfortunate, but Mike recorded his reaction to the no-hitter. I recorded the field. So I think he's going to make a mashup if there is no like actual stadium broadcast of the out of that happening.
I saw
Julia, Kevin and Kevin. I don't know. I would have to match Kevin Brown's energy. Like Kevin has so much energy.
You would. I think if you were in one of your like energy moods, you could do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, living up to Jim Palmer is a heck of a thing. So
that would be very
tough. I don't exactly have the resume Jim does. So that would be something.
Yeah, that would get a little tough. That would get a little tough.
Yeah.
Kevin, before we got into this, even started the show, I was just, has there ever been an organization so back? Like we talked about the Ironbirds, we talked about Jackson Holiday, we talked about the Orioles dominating the swagger pack, 4 jacks, 9 runs. The way I put it was 11 hits, 9 runs, 4 home runs, 2 taters, and a partridge in a pear tree. Like we just had it all.
Yeah, I wish we ended up hanging the towels that the towels that I did the baseball 12 Nights of Christmas. So I would have brought that over here, but now they're actually on the wall, so I can't take it down. But we will once football season comes.
We'll get the
I'll
football one up.
Yeah, because that's still legendary. But yeah, man, what a night! Yeah, seriously, what a night for the organization. I mean, after all of the turmoil they went through over the last couple of weeks, and there's a parallel universe out there, Zach, where Anthony Volpe doesn't boot that ball, and Alex Verdugo doesn't play that ball as badly as he did. And we're kind of sitting there over All-Star break wondering, are they ever going to get out of this funk?
That would have sucked, dude.
What's going to happen? That would have been the worst part, honestly, is having to go all those days with, here are the negative reactions. And so there is an alternate universe. Likely we're living in the right universe. Hopefully. But, it kind of makes me wonder, is like, did Anthony Volpe save the Orioles season? I mean, got to give him an honorary ring if he did.
We may never know. We may never know. And yeah, let's talk about this. Can we Detroit, there is there is so much delusion going on trade Twitter right now. Did you see the one where it was like the Tigers, what the Tigers could look like after a Skubal trade?
I sent you that. I sent the Discord that.
And it had Holiday, it had Kersted's name misspelled. So it had Holiday, Kerstead, Mayo, and what, Westberg?
Yeah, it was the trade was
and Basayo.
It was Skubal for Westberg, Holiday, Mayo, Basayo, and Kerstad, which they spelled Kirstan. So can't even spell his name right, and they won him.
Like I was speechless a while. Like someone took time to make that. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to be so bad.
People, okay. And Ryan said this, and we talked with Jim Duquette, and Jim kind of echoed Ryan's sentiment here on the show on Thursday. But people talk about Skubal like he's Soto, where it's going to take a Soto-like package to get him when the Nationals obviously traded him to San Diego. And this is just not what we're dealing with here, where first of all, it's a different trade market for pitchers versus hitters. Obviously, when it comes to how much they're on the diamond, obviously pitchers are super important. And so the positional need and actually how important pitchers are, that's always going to come with a price. But you can't one-for-one compare, a team will need a Soto type deal to move for Skubal. It's going to take a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not just saying, throw Stowers and Dylan Beavers and you get them. Like, that's not going to happen. Yeah. You need to trade some top guys to get them. But the fact that, maybe they have to trade Holiday and Norby and Stowers and this guy and that guy, it'll take a lot, but we're not talking about a Soto package. There's no disrespect to Skubal, obviously. He's a heck of a pitcher and a heck of a player. But we're just not in that market right now. The thing that would drive that price up, by the way, is competitiveness, is competition, teams outbidding the other. That's where that price gets driven up. But in a one-for-one, if you're just talking about a base package for Skubal, we're not talking about a Soto type deal. So that's kind of where I am on that.
Dude, I'm hate watching I now have to hate watch the Red Sox.
See, when we get the channel, we're gonna have to leverage some level of hate watching.
I know. This is 0-0 against the Dodgers. I need the Dodgers to, do something here. Like, come on, guys.
Wait, who's playing the Dodgers?
The Red Sox. It's 0-0 in the fifth. And I'm just like, come on, Dodgers.
Yeah, honestly, Baltimore I am so back based off of my my Eddie Jackson dog tweet. I've been waiting for so long, man. Like, I've had drafts about I had something cooked up for Jamal Adams. I had something cooked up.
Were we talking LSU?
Oh yeah. Well, see, I can't top my Bo Braid Pee-wee high school highlight. Like, that got people going. So for those who don't know, for the football side of things here, whenever the Ravens sign someone who's a veteran, I try to go back and find the earliest highlights of them I can. Usually it's college, and I'll tweet out the Ravens just got a dog in whoever it is.
Get pissed.
So enough people know now that it's just a bit. And I am not committed to any other bit more than I am committed to this bit. I do not care. I know there's going to be backlash. I do not care. It is so funny to me. So I did it with Eddie Jackson today because, he was in Alabama in 2016 and got the response I was hoping. So
I love the comments that
I could have done, if we're talking like Orioles, if I did when the Orioles signed like Vlad Guerrero or like Jim Thome, like one of those guys, and just tweeting out their rookie year highlights, that's kind of along the same lines. So, yeah.
Oh, dude, I absolutely love it. Vibes in Baltimore just high today in sports. We got Eddie Jackson, Ravens got their third safety they've been looking for. Orioles got their swagger back.
Yeah, it's Friday night. I don't know if people's plans are for Friday night. Going out after this. This was me.
That was Kevin.
That was me. I did that. That was me. So
that was Kevin.
That was me. I'm known for that. At least I think I'm known for that. But
hey, Robo Wrestler, happy birthday, man! Happy birthday!
All right, congratulations! Yeah, happy birthday.
Adley did know what to do. Number 35 number 35 hits a homer for your 35th.
I wish it was number 35.
I know, I do too. That would be really cool. There is a legitimate chance that Gunnar and Tony both hit 40 home runs, which is kind of crazy.
Unreal. I mean, all right.
So they're both what?
No,
so
I'm not going to do it.
28.
I was gonna say something that would have brought the vibes down. We're not bringing vibes down. We're not doing it. So
we're not. No,
we're
absolutely
not doing it.
Absolutely not. Let's look ahead to tomorrow a little bit. So it's Grayson Rodriguez versus Max Scherzer. Man, that's a game that you want to take if you're the Orioles, because on Sunday you got Andrew Heaney versus Dean Kramer. God, Andrew Heaney is 3-10 this year with a 3.79 ERA. What is going on there? If you have a 3.79 ERA, you should not be 3-10.
Yeah, we talked about Corbin Burns having awful run support this season. Heaney's not been very lucky in that department.
Oh my God. 1.25 whip and he's got a 3. Jeez.
Hate that.
Hate to see it.
Well, you know what? Hopefully that trend continues, and he can limit the Orioles to what, 5 runs, let's say, and Kramer goes out there and puts up a 2 spot, maybe, and that's how they do it.
That would be electric. Let's look at the standing. I gotta kind of get my bearings back to where the standings are. I'm not gonna lie, Kevin. When you look at the wild card, it is kind of getting close. It's like Orioles are only 6 games up on the final wild card spot.
And that's why I think the trade deadlines are going to be so nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we just talked to Jim Duquette and he said it. I mean,
yeah, we're going to have so many buyers, and we'll maybe in the next week or so, Zach, maybe we can replay that game segment you, Rocco, and I had at the end of that one stream about who we think should be buyers. I think a lot of teams in that segment are going to be buyers.
Dude,
that will drive prices up. It will drive prices up. So.
Thank God the Blue Jays have fell off. The Rangers are 8 games out of the Rangers won 9 of their final 13 games in the first half, and they're still 8 games back of a wild card spot. I just don't see it making sense for them, especially if let's say they lose the next one to the Orioles, lose the series to the Orioles. Let's just say they struggle a little bit. They could find themselves 10-11 back by the trade deadline. They have to sell, dude. Detroit's only 6.5 out. There's so much false optimism out here. Why is Tampa 6 out? Tampa could get back to 500. Hold up.
Yeah, actually, you want to get disgusted, Zach, with run support? Look at what I'm about to pull up.
Yeah, okay. I do want to there is a reason for this. There is a reason for this. It is disgusting, I agree. But because he's rehabbing, you have to go at least 5 innings to be responsible for the win. And in the majority of it, he just got up to where he can pitch 5 innings. So he's been throwing at max 4. So he's never been eligible for a win. I do just want to. It is disgusting. All right,
context does matter. Context does matter.
It is disgusting, but he's rehabbing, so he physically could not be in line for any of those wins. But he is dominating. Someone that actually was it Steve Molesky we were talking with? Yes, Steve Molesky kind of hinted at he would not be surprised if it's not Chase McDermott that we see next. If Seth Johnson makes the jump from Bowie to the majors in September-ish, that would be, I think it would be a desperate move. I don't want to know what would have to happen for the Orioles to have to go rely on Seth Johnson in a decently big situation this season. But talk about a guy, when the Orioles acquired him, it was never talent. It was whether or not he could stay healthy. And when the dude's healthy, the dude is balling. Absolute baller. He's going to be a guy that would be. It's going to be. And I see the whip with him is high. It seems like, honestly, all these guys have just had super high whips with McDermott, Povich, Johnson. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with those three, because I feel like it's very established that it's like the Orioles don't have a deep pitching prospect, pool, but it's kind of like those three and the rest. Like, obviously Armbruster, some guys that are further away, but if you're talking guys within the next year you see in the majors, it's kind of three. And obviously we've already seen Povich.
Yeah, I don't know. Good points. That's all I got.
Yeah, dude. I try to make good points. I'll say it. I try to make good points.
That's why you're here, honestly.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah. I put this tweet out there earlier today during the game, and it just said the Orioles, like, they live and die by the home run ball. But my God, is it so much fun when the ball's flying. Like, we admit that they live and die by the home run ball, but it's also so hard not to enjoy when they're just murdering the baseball. Like, Adley's barely was a wall scraper, but it was a line drive. So it was like off the bat, it was like, okay, this is gone. Tony twice, and then Cowser. That ball had a family. like ball never seen again type. Like, off the bat, everyone's standing. That's what was happening tonight. Colton Cowser, man. Kevin, I don't know what to do with him, dude. I don't know what to do with Colton Cowser because his metrics are insane. Everything points to he's got to break out of this unlucky stretch. Yeah. And yes, I have been preaching this, Kevin. Colton Cowser is in the most unfair position of anyone on this roster because he is just getting stuck only facing lefties right now. And thankfully tonight he gets his opportunity against Eovaldi, a righty, gets a home run, and then his second at bat, Kevin, he actually hit another bullet up the middle into the gap, and shortstop came over and made a nice play to barely get him out. But his metrics, like, here, Kevin, I'm going to pull up his Baseball Savant page real fast to share because this is what.
Yeah, they're all in the red. Like, his batting metrics are great, but again, it's just like baseball is a game of matchups, and in certain heavy lineups, it just you're stuck in those lineups, and so hopefully. But again, this is what you want, right? Like 5 outfielders who can all do something for you, whether it's Hayes, Cowser, Mullins, Taters, or Kjerstad. And I mean, look, this is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, let's just
89th percentile in hard hit percentage. I mean, like
92 percentile in barrel percentage, 89th in hard hit percentage, 82nd in bat speed. I mean, it's just, and then his fielding. This doesn't get talked about.
His fielding is great.
Unreal. Now look at his chart. He's hitting it to all parts of the field. Obviously, this includes his incredible month of April. But dude, this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think he needs more opportunities, and I think this is more for the future as well. I mean, I see Eli saying, I wonder if Hayes might be non-tenant in the offseason. I mean, this kind of goes into future talk, but like, I don't expect all the veterans back. Like, I think they're going to go through some level of a youth movement this offseason with Hayes, Tony Taters, and Mullins, regardless of, and maybe it's
Rhino Hearn. Maybe they don't pick. It would be.
It would shock me if they didn't at least pick it up.
At least to trade. Like, it'd be stupid not to get anything for Rhino Hearn.
But I mean, I don't expect Hayes back. I think Tony might be pricing himself out right now, even though the Orioles the Orioles do have money to spend. At least you would hope so. But they also know that they have other guys down this pipeline, and they have a lot of them. They're going to have to sign to big money extensions here. And so I think for Tony, he's a heck of a player. I know he's streaky at times, and the glove might not be there all the time, but he's a big part of this team. But I think he also might just be pricing himself out. And I think it'd be awesome if he could come back. I would hope the Orioles find some level of a way, but you also can't keep everybody. And that's just the reality of the sport, especially when you're a good team, right? When you're a bad team and you have 1 or 2 stars, you can re-sign those guys. But the Orioles have plenty of stars. And so my ideal situation is they probably bring back Tony, but I'm kind of preparing myself for this might be his last year because they might want to go younger and they might know Tony's going to get a heck of a deal this offseason from somebody who's looking to it. Maybe an up-and-coming team who understands they can use his bat in the middle of the lineup. And the Orioles, it's easier for them to replace him than it is for other teams to replace some of their bats like Tony. So that's kind of where I am with that. So for Cowser, it could be more opportunities next season is what I'm saying.
And you also have to, okay, I know people say, giving Tony, because I think Tony's going to get 20 mil plus a year, especially with the way he's playing. I like how you put that. He might be pricing himself out of Baltimore just because of how consistent of a power hitting switch hitter he's been over the last 3-4 years. I think he might have priced himself out, but I see some people talking about, even if it's, 20, 25 mil a year for 3 years, you do it. I would rather them spend that on a pitcher, because we have, assuming we don't know with the trade deadline what's going to happen, obviously, what prospects are still here. But let's just say, assuming they still have the main guys, Kjerstad, Cowser, Enrique Bradfield's coming up soon. You just drafted Vance Honeycutt. Now those guys are more down the line. Still have Mullins on the roster technically. Still have Hayes on the roster technically. Like it's so much easier to replace that with who they have right now than it is to get that and then try to trade what they have for pitching. As much as I would hate to see, just because of a vibe standpoint, like Tony is he's been there from the beginning of this shit show rebuild. Like just straight shit show. He saw the horrendous parts of this and is now benefiting from it. And hopefully maybe that leads to a discount. But, it just feels like there's almost not enough room for Tony because unfortunately his contract expires first. Like it's not like that they would choose others over him, but unfortunately his contract just expires at the time where it doesn't make sense unless it's a 1-year big $25-30 million deal. Like it's hard for me to sit here and say it'd be worth giving him that much money over a guy that could come in and improve the pitching staff, especially if they don't re-sign Burns.
Yeah, and this whole thing is you don't want to go full youth. Like you want to have vets. So if there is a way to make it work with Tony, and then you have some level of a rotation of Tony, Cowser, Kjerstad, I don't necessarily expect this to be Stauer's permanent home, so I'm not really going to factor him in right now. But again, if you can have some level of like these younger outfielders, obviously you can throw Cedric in there if you want to, but I don't expect Hayes back personally. And then I think from there you can kind of evaluate, because the Orioles have an immense luxury right now. But we also know they have to improve their pitching staff this offseason, because you're not going to be able to plug in all your holes this trade deadline. So, in my opinion, it's like you can maybe get a guy with a year or two of team control at the deadline. You can have him be whether it's a plug-and-play option or a number 3 guy for a little bit, because we know that Bradish and Means and Tyler, it's wait-and-see mode for all those guys. And you're not going to start the year with a lot, especially if Burns leaves. And that's the thing, where I saw a lot of people in the chat saying, yeah, well, Tony's money should go to Corbin. I agree. But, if Corbin's able to come back to the Ravens, I'm still in Ravens mode. Come back to the
locked on.
Yeah, I know. Come back to the Orioles, and you still have money left over. If there is a way to get a couple more pitchers and bring Tony back, then that's great.
Yeah.
But if you have to choose, I'm probably choosing pitching, because we know what the Orioles have in their system with outfielders. So
yeah, it's just, it's unfortunate numbers game. Like it is to the point where it just doesn't make sense for them to prioritize a guy like Tony. Just where they are. Let's talk about Burns. I've already said I'm going to put it at, especially right now, I'm going to give it a 75% chance he's back.
Yeah, I remember your level was a lot lower than I thought it was at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, my level, I just didn't know how they were going, all this. I thought with Boris, all that. One, I think Rubenstein is going to open up the wallet. And I think they understand how valuable a guy like Corbin Burns is and why. And also, like, compared to other guys, you gave up assets for Corbin.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's the number one priority is going to be to sign Corbin. I think they're going to pay him, and I think they're okay with giving him the biggest contract in franchise history.
Which
because that's what it's going to command.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's completely fine with me. The Orioles haven't had a pitcher of this caliber since, go back however far you want to go.
Mike
back.
Lucino.
Right? It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So you don't. Those guys don't grow on trees. And look, the Orioles have certainly tried. They've certainly tried to grow theirs and see how it works. But guess what? It doesn't work out that way most of the time. So when you're able to bring in a guy on a win-win trade, if he leaves, it's like, again, if the Orioles win the World Series this year, I think this conversation shifts a little bit to like Kawhi Raptors and like, okay, got the job done. He leaves after 1 year.
Yeah.
Oriole legend, love him forever. You'd love for him to come back, but if he chooses to go elsewhere, you don't blame him. But if they don't, I think either way, if they do or don't, you have to try to bring him back. There's no question. But to me, this is an ace. This is a guy that you gave up considerable amounts of good assets for. Joey Ortiz is over there doing his thing. DL Hall's over there, and then the competitive balance pick. Or was that the Gunnar Rookie of the Year one?
No, it was the competitive balance.
Okay, competitive balance one. So to me, it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, you want to re-sign your best guys, and if you have to let some of the better but not top of the list guys go to re-sign those guys, those are the sacrifices you have to make as a good team.
Yeah, and actually, who else is a free agent? I feel like I don't even really know this free agency class.
You mean Orioles wise or
no? I'm talking full.
Okay.
2020.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's why all of a sudden I feel like obviously we are so focused on.
Here we go. Spirit Bomb has a solution, Zach. Clone Albert Suarez 5 times.
Boom, and we're back, baby.
We are so
obviously back. Juan Soto. Corbin Burns.
Man, what a plot twist that would be.
Alex Bregman, Pete Alonso. I'm just trying to get the pictures.
Did you imagine Soto?
Blake Snell technically has an option. Max Fried. That could be interesting. That's the only pitcher. Jordan Montgomery has an option. Walker Buehler, Jack Flaherty, obviously. Max Scherzer has an option. Luis Severino. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Honestly, we're so far out from this, but I think they're probably going to try to trade for another guy.
Yeah, they should. They need to.
Yeah. Prices on the pitchers will be down. There'll be more arms available. At least guys, because the thing with offseason trades versus deadline trades is I've talked about how the price goes up because you're competing with other teams. But part of this is teams in the offseason, they have a set idea of what they think their team is. The reason why there are so many different buyers or sellers at the trade deadline is because years go differently than these teams think. Mm-hmm. So when you're talking about a team in the offseason that maybe lost a couple of guys and they might be thinking about entering some level of a rebuild, they're more willing to trade a guy. But let's say that team is 6.5 games out of the wild card spot at the trade deadline. They're thinking, we might have a chance here. We're not putting our top arm up. Why would we do that? We're in the hunt right now. We think there's a shot. So the offseason deals, there are better arms available sometimes, right? It varies from year to year. But teams Like we're talking about who are in the middle of between being buyers and being sellers. That doesn't happen as much in the offseason because there is a general direction of where these teams think they are going. And as such, they make moves based off of the direction they believe they are going to go in. In the regular season, we just ripped off 10 straight wins.
Yeah.
We didn't think this was going to happen. We were rebuilding and now we're competitive. And so we're not putting our top guys up because we want to compete now. So that's where the difference is in offseason trades versus regular season trades. And I see we got some basketball talk. My Nuggets fandom is well known, so I want the Nuggets to get Russell Westbrook. More excited than maybe people would think for this one. I know Zach hates it, but
I think it's stupid.
If there's a place to fix Russ, it'd be Denver with Jokic. They've done it before with other guys, so could be an absolute disaster. But I am ready for chaos. So I am ready. And I see Alex Sarr is apparently just in the absolute gutter right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. So Bob Carrington looks better. Local guy. Bob Carrington looks better by like years. I've seen Wizards fans already say that they're coping by saying that the Wizards drafted Carrington at 2. And that's how they're dealing with it. So yeah, I see. I know. Look, I don't blame people who are saying Westbrook is not the answer for Denver, but they're also not going to use him in a starting role. And they also, to be fair, the Clippers used James Harden in their on-ball guy. They essentially put Russ in the corner and were like, be a 3-and-D player. And that's not who Russ is. So maybe just the fit is better. Maybe the change of scenery is better. But look, he is far, far, far from Russell Westbrook in OKC. Like we're so far past that. It's going to be tough. Plus the fact that teams don't leave him. I mean, they don't guard him from 3. Like he can't shoot threes. So, but I agree with this. I think Peter has a point. I think he is one of the better backup point guards in the league. And Denver just needs someone to get rim pressure, right? They had no one last year that could create rim pressure and make their own offense. And so to me, I think it's better because he is a guy, he runs in transition. He's fast. Plus Jamal Murray. I mean, he's injury prone at this point. I hate to say it, he's my guy. But he's missed a bunch of time, and the Nuggets had to play Reggie Jackson for like 2 months last year, and that's not going to cut it. I feel more confident in Russ being Jamal's replacement than Reggie. So again, this could crash and burn so easily. Like I'm coping myself into it. Like this is what happened. Like I remember with Zach Edey, man, you were saying it with your Grizzlies, right? You're like, this is the worst thing ever, and now like you're like, okay, this is fine. So
yeah, and then that's a whole nother thing. That's because he was my least favorite player I've ever watched play the game of basketball. And then
I have beef with Edey because I picked Purdue 2 years ago when they got eliminated in the first round.
Yeah, he's got the right out. Here's what's crazy. Did you see? Obviously, he got the ankle injury yesterday. Zach Edey is before the injury was the favorite to win Rookie of the Year.
Wow,
that made no sense to me.
This class wasn't good though.
Yeah, but I'd even put Donovan Clingan like over him.
Yeah.
Hell, I'd put Dalton Connect. Like,
yeah, well.
I just because Dalton Connect can just go out there and just shoot a bunch of threes for LeBron, and like people would be like, "Oh, he's so great."
Right. Yeah. But
like I just find it hard for a center who is gonna just be like Ja's lob guy to win.
I mean, you're starting him next to JJJ, right?
Yeah, we need a center.
Okay,
we need a center.
Yeah,
he's gonna be the starter.
Well, that's why you were so mad because you thought you were trading up for Clingan, and then
yes, and I love Clingan.
Yeah. So yeah. All right, let's get back to Orioles though. I know we're about Orioles. Biohack, out of curiosity, what would you be willing to give up for Skubal, who is 100% off the table? We've talked about this in bits and pieces, Zach, on the Ryan Griffin show. Mm-hmm. But who's off the table? I still would not trade Jackson.
Wouldn't trade Jackson. Wouldn't trade Mayo. And that's I'm gonna cap it at that.
Messiah was so close for me. It is. So
I
honestly, I don't know my answer.
I've gotten off the train just to bring myself peace. I was the biggest. Messiah was my one untouchable. All of this, screaming from the mountaintop. I just have a feeling he's the guy involved, so I'm just emotionally unattaching myself from him at this moment.
Well, if that happens and the Tigers want a top guy, it would be him. Because
I think that's the guy that they'd be willing to give up. I don't think
the Orioles are moving off of Holiday. I don't think they're moving off of Mayo.
You ain't moving off of Holiday after tonight. Dude, Holiday, he's gotten, I think it's up to 13 game on base streak.
Yeah. See, now this would be wonderful, Brian. Norby Stowers and some Elias magic in there. You get a lot the hypnotism, the Elias hypnotism.
Okay, so I've not ruled out Elias just pulling some shit off. Like
what does that mean?
I've not ruled out that there is a trade. I don't think it would be for Skubal, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Orioles get a bigger name and the return looks like a Norby Stowers and then a little lower A guy.
Bigger than Skubal?
No. I'm saying I'm not saying it would be Skubal, but like in like a Crochet, like I would not be surprised if the Orioles could claim one of like a Crochet without giving up a top 4.
No,
I think it would happen. No, but I would also
I agree with this.
With how the White Sox have been run and just how Mike Elias seems to fleece all these teams, would not surprise me at all if he pulled something off.
No, this is such a good take. I mean, I 100% agree here. First of all, Kieran says Burns for Ortiz and Hall. Agree. There is again the offseason versus trade deadline part of that, where the Orioles, if we were talking about acquiring Corbin Burns at the deadline, it would cost a lot more than Ortiz and Hall. But here's the thing. We talk about the Orioles farm system and we talk about how loaded they are. A lot of other teams don't. In fact, no other team has what the Orioles have. But a lot of other teams don't have consistent prospects like that, and prospects that continuously come up, whether it's after a time or after another time, and they produce, right? There is a history of Orioles prospects recently coming up and producing and showing potential, where other teams, some guys come up, you can have the name, right? Like Spencer Torkelson. Like, there's a name, but what's the production? Tigers fans starting to talk themselves out of like, okay, this guy's not even a part of the future anymore. Like, it's that bad there where he hasn't produced. Orioles prospects are producing. So if you say Connor Norby and Kyle Stowers, those guys would be like second prospect, third prospects, fourth prospects, fifth prospects. These guys who are like ranked 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th in the Orioles farm system, we're talking about like top 3, top 5 prospects in other systems. So when you talk about Holiday and Mayo and Basayo and Kjerstad and like all your untouchable guys, I do think, and I agree with you, where we could see a Crochet or a Fetty or Severino, and you see a Stowers and Seth Johnson, and I think Norby. Like, I think Norby would be a headliner in a deal.
Yeah. I don't think people understand that. I think teams are going to really value Norby, like a lot more than people
understand. Infield, outfield versatility, great power
also, bat. Can we talk about why? I feel like this gets talked about enough, but it's so true, and I don't think it's going to happen. Why do the Orioles and Mariners not call each other up? Because they literally both have the opposite problem. The Mariners can't stop producing pitching, and they can't get a hitter to save their lives. And the Orioles can't stop producing hitting, and they haven't, obviously, besides Grayson and them. They just can't they need pitching more than anything. There's got to be a way to make a move. There's got to be a way somewhere in there to make a move. Also, the Red Sox are now up 1-0. Guess how they got it?
Home run.
Jarren Duran home run.
God. I get so confused between him and Jalen Duran, the Pistons.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like Jalen Duran, Jarren Duran, Jalen Duran, Jarren Duran. So yeah. Gosh. But where's we had an off topic with Victoria. Did the grass, dirt, mustard, and pickle sodas give everyone a stomach ache? Well, people know who watched the reaction show on what was that game? Sunday? Yeah, on Sunday.
Sunday.
I drank the pickle soda. We were going to get off after the hour mark, and it took me 45 minutes to finish the pickle soda, and it was a disaster. I didn't even finish the second pickle soda. I dumped out the rest of it when we were done recording. Ryan, the grass soda beat Ryan up. Ryan was not having it. Couldn't chug it. Got a stomach ache. Got a headache, I think, too. He was out. Brad couldn't even do like 3 sips of the soda. He was done. Rocco got caught at the end. I think he was feeling it after he chugged it. But I'll let you talk about you. How were you feeling?
I regretted it. Because I chugged my whole thing. I chugged it, and it was actually. Should we just real fast to give people context?
You do have the clip?
Well, I have Ryan put it on Twitter. Did you not see it on Twitter today?
I did. I mean, it was through all my stuff. Yeah, Kayla, I announced this was happening on Twitter on Thursday. Or someone did. I can't remember who it was. We announced this was happening.
Yeah, okay. Here we go. Let's I'll
tell the backstory.
You want to tell the backstory?
No. You can just let this play. I'll tell it after.
Sip and smile. Oh. That's okay.
Does it taste like grass?
All right, Kevin, do you want to pickle it down?
Pickle soda. That's the biggest chug you've taken.
Yeah.
Oh, he's chugging.
Going for it?
No, he ain't chugging.
Grass.
Oh.
Tastes like dirt.
Does it really? No. That stinks. Oh, no, that's God.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Look at that.
good for you.
I don't want to chug. I'll be honest.
Well, then Rocco stood you up on your own show.
Guys, don't chug it. Fine. Just
Rocco.
finish the damn
No,
drink.
Rocco, you don't understand.
Oh,
Come on.
oh, almost. Oh,
Chug.
oh,
Chug.
oh.
Say what's in this?
It's a bunch of grass.
My body is shivering right now.
I'm just reading the ingredients. My God.
Oh my god.
What? Yeah, that was.
I love how you just. What's in this? It's a bunch of grass.
Well, my underrated comments from the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so brutal, dude. The mustard, it was just I took a sip of it and it wasn't bad. When I chugged it,
Yeah, well, you did Brad so dirty because you were like, "Oh, this is not bad. Like it smells
it
bad,
wasn't
Brad, but
that
it doesn't
bad,
taste bad."
Kevin.
And then you chugged it, and you're like, "Oh, this is so disgusting." And then Brad,
Yeah, it was disgusting to chug. I'm never chugging mustard soda ever again.
yeah. So the backstory
But
is
it did sit in my stomach, and I felt awful for those wondering.
yeah. The backstory is my dad and I went down to Ellicott City one weekend, and I went to a store called EC Pops, which is a popcorn store that has just a bunch of flavored popcorn. They have like cookie dough popcorn, cookies and cream popcorn, and they also have these crazy sodas. So my dad wanted to get sodas for everybody on the show, so he got me 2 pickle sodas, one so I could do it on the reacts, and then another one we did with everybody. He got Zach and Brad mustard because obviously they are the mustard guys, and then they had no ketchup or plain dog sodas, so Ryan got grass and Rocco got dirt. And yeah, not a great. Maybe we'll have to go back and we'll get 5 new different flavored sodas. They had horchata flavored soda, couple. I think maybe jalapeno flavor.
Oh, I would do a jalapeno one.
But I mean, even so, But are you sort of talking about the spice? Or you talking about the flavor? Because could you be able to handle the flavor?
Yeah. I just chugged that mustard soda, Kevin. There's I'm not saying I won't regret it and feel awful, but I will do it.
Well, what was worse, the warehouse dog aftermath or the mustard soda?
Oh, that's a brilliant question, Kevin. That's tough.
Because I have to live through.
I'm gonna say the warehouse dog.
Okay.
Just because the warehouse dog, I physically felt just weighed down.
Yeah. Because that's a lot of food. That
was so much food. It was fantastic, but I should not have eaten that whole thing.
Yeah, we have to make that happen. We have to get everybody, because I was editing the Mike Elias interview, and then I had a Locked On Ravens thing, so I couldn't go.
Yeah.
But we have to all get down to a game during the second half of this season. Yeah, definitely got to make that happen. By the way, if you didn't know, this is Kevin and Zach Reacts or whatever the heck you want to call it at this point. We are a reaction show, part of the Ryan Rickin Media Empire, as Ryan, of course, loves to call it. We actually in the works of moving over to another channel. So we'll still cross stream on both this channel and the other channel to start. But again, we will begin to completely go over to that one. We are getting
Yeah.
new logo, new intro, new memberships, new this, new that. So
And we'll reveal the new logo maybe over this weekend, maybe early next week. We'll figure it out. It's
Yeah,
kind of
so
getting finalized. So we'll do a reaction video to the reaction logo.
yeah, we'll have just a separate, not like Orioles game related. We'll just have a separate stream reacting and kind of announcing the new channel. So once that ends up happening, which should be soon, we'd really appreciate it if you could hop over there as well, because that's where the show will live.
It's free. It's free.
It is free. We will have different membership tiers if you want to support us in that way, but of course, subscribing is always free. So we really appreciate all.
And memberships won't start right away. We're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do that. So like that'll be more of a you guys wait and see. Like go. I just didn't want people to like immediately be like, where are memberships? Like I was like, it's probably not going to be ready when we launch.
No,
so,
yes. So yes, it's all going to be a work in process.
Yeah,
we're taking it.
It's going to build up, but
taking it step by step. But just again, wanted to let people know so you're just not all shocked when we're moving over to a channel like, where the heck did this come from? So, and yes, you're exactly right, Joe. Memberships will go to support Banksy's leg,
solely Banksy,
which I'm going to pocket and then go buy Gucci jewelry. So that will happen there. Gunnar Henderson's Kevin, I think she meant shoulder skin looks almost look. I am pale, but the shoulder skin is like mega. Like this is my arm. Like I have like shoulder. Like I am just white. Like look, I'll do this. Ready? Hold on. We're gonna wait for the handprint to come up. Maybe I have to do it more. There.
Are you just spanking?
I can see it. Can you see it?
Not really.
I guess it's not coming through on the. It's
I
just like
I see it getting a little red.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
See like the outline right here of like where I missed. Yeah. So that's
welcome to Kevin and Zach React.
Here's a good question as we move away from that. From Mike, do you think the Orioles drafting a catcher in the second round means Basayo's on the trade block? I don't.
No.
The MLB draft
drafted a catcher 2 rounds after or 3 rounds after they drafted Adley. They got to build organization.
It's about talent in the MLB draft, right? Obviously, with NFL draft, NBA draft, NHL, it's you draft for positional need as well. In baseball, it's you draft the best player available and you figure it out. So the Orioles have drafted so many outfielders as of late, and why people hate it is because they're not drafting pitching early and this, that, and the other. But again, if you grow the bats by the arms, it's exactly what they're doing. So
exactly. Kevin shoulder striker. You know what? This was just a great vibes post game, honestly. Especially like you coming from the no hitter.
Oh my God, I know.
We got the Orioles win 9-1. We got Kevin's shoulder striker. I mean, what more could you ask for on a live stream?
Yeah. What's with these fans? Everybody wants like the fan. Like they're always like, oh, with the feet and with the shoulders. Guess what? I have body parts like fingers and hair.
Where's this going?
And elbows, just like everybody else. Showing elbows is not a crime, all right?
Showing shout out Zach Fruit.
That's not a crime.
Shout out Zach Fruit.
Zach Fruit, yeah.
Hello, Zach, putting on a show tonight. Just big day for Zach's. If we're just gonna be real, big day for Zach's. A lot of production out of the name. So really proud of the guy.
Also, do you see these elbows? You see how sharp that is? You see that's like a knife. That's like a knife right there. You see that? I can just go.
Jesus. Okay. This is.
Look at that.
Thank you for everyone who tuned in for Kevin and Zach Reacts tonight.
Hey, we got 85 people in here.
We've got off the rails as usual, but we appreciate everyone who tunes in. It always starts with Orioles baseball. Well,
that's what we do, right? We talk about Orioles baseball. We react to what we promise, but obviously at points it can get off the rails.
After 30 minutes, there is no limits to what is being talked about.
Yeah. 30, 45 an hour. Like that's when, we usually do.
Actually, last thing I want to react to. What is going on with this whole?
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, I have no
I'm
clue.
supposed to know, but I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
I'll do my quick.
I
It's
just
between
have
them.
no-
It's between Lamar Jackson and Troy Aikman,
Troy
essentially
Aikman,
for
that's
the
all I
number
know.
8.
Oh
you
yeah,
not do
we
one?
actually
Did
did
you not
not
do-
do one up, one down.
Well, I guess I can react based off what I know. Because again,
Yeah,
I was doing the Birds game tonight.
one up, I'm gonna go. No, Colton Cowser. It's my one up. I know there's an obvious one up, but he deserves it. He deserves it. He's having a rough time. Colton Cowser, my one up. My one down. I guess maybe. Mullins went 0 for 4. Westbrook 0 for 4. Mountie 0 for 4. So one of those guys, I guess. But when you score 9 runs and only give up 1, there's not a lot of one ups or not a lot of one downs.
Yeah. I'll go Tony with the 2 taters. I don't even know if there is a down tonight. Like, was the
That's what I'm
umpiring
saying.
good?
Yeah, it actually was.
All right. Well, then, yeah. I mean,
One down will be just more allegations that the Orioles cannot beat of us continue to hit players in the hand. Just can't stop.
Yeah. All right. So, long story short about this, apparently, Lamar has filed a patent complaint against Aikman on the number 8 because Aikman won 9 trademarks 2 months ago, and that allows him to use the word 8, so spelled out EIGHT. So he uses that on like 8 Elite Light Lager, apparently. And so since it's not the actual digits for number 8, it's not like the number, it's just letters. It's not an actual violation of Jackson's trademarks, but the argument that Jackson is making is that Lamar's team believes that those trademarks by Aikman might confuse customers who are looking to buy stuff representing Lamar. So, like, if you look for like the number 8, who do you associate it with? Is it Lamar or is it Troy Aikman? And if people are looking for Lamar merch, they stumble across something that's 8. They're like, oh, okay, that's Lamar, but it's actually Aikman. And we know that, Lamar's worn the number since college, And I think the appeal says, in the appeal, it says Lamar has expended considerable time, effort, and expense in promoting, advertising, and popularizing the number 8 in connection with his personality and fame, and is well known by this number to notoriety and fame, along with his promotion of this number in his trademarks and in media coverage. So Lamar has a bunch of trademarks like the Era 8 stuff, the U8 Yet, which is one of his restaurants down in Florida. So the argument is essentially they're similar in sound, appearance, connotation, and commercial impression. So that would be
go Lamar. Go Lamar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be outside the courtroom.
Yeah,
MVP,
where's the hold on,
MVP,
where's the
MVP.
Yeah, here we go. We got come down from the top rope.
Oh my gosh. We just all number 8s come together.
Ovechkin just coming in.
Yeah. Everyone.
Oh my god. I'm gonna start a trademark battle against you for
Kevin and Zach reacts.
For White Star Sales. I'm known for that.
You're taking it over.
Take it away from
Kevin
me.
and Zach react merch.
We need just merch in general, man.
I'm getting our logo. I know we know what it looks like, but our logo, our new logo on a hat would low-key look awesome.
We're working on it. But yeah, we'll figure it out. But even just Reimer can show stuff.
Right, reacts trial post game. We are live at the hearing between Troy Aikman and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, we are in the courtroom reporting live.
We are. One of us is on the jury.
Wow. Well, after you said go Lamar, I think you're now disqualified.
So it looks like it's you.
Wow.
Congratulations, you're now on the jury.
It's crazy. Yeah. Unreal.
What a night. What a night. Has anyone ever been as back as Baltimore sports, Kevin? Has anyone? I don't believe so. Yep. Show those elbows. Show those bows.
Wow. This is actually scaring me a little bit.
Yeah, that is not.
Do you see it? It's like squared off right here. It's like I asked for my haircut squared off. I apparently asked for my elbow squared off too.
It is squared off.
You see that? It's like a rectangle.
You're scaring the kids, Kevin.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Put that away. Yeah, but thank you. I think it is so time to go. It is so. It is.
Probably.
Thank you everyone for joining us for another edition of Kevin and Zach React post-game show. The Baltimore Orioles win 9-1. We do this every single game, every single night, win or lose. So we will be back at it again tomorrow, and by tomorrow I mean today. So it is Saturday.
Yeah,
I'm going to be
happy
real, Kevin. I
Saturday.
don't know. I do not know where I'm going to be tomorrow during the show.
Oh, a little potential
not-
volley on the streets.
Yeah, I think we're going to be on the streets tomorrow. So
All right.
be prepared for that. I will also probably have – what time's tomorrow's game, actually?
Isn't it at 8 a.m.?
Is it another 8 game? Or are we not doing the Oriole thing?
7. It's 7.
Okay, it's 7 this time. I will most likely have had some beverages when I hop on. So let's just get that out of the way.
Hey, man. Spicy waters. Let's go.
A lot of spicy waters coming in. So thank you, everyone. I don't know why I just tipped my cap. Thank you, everyone, who joined in. And yeah, we will see you tomorrow for another edition of Kevin and Zach React. Baltimore Orioles back in the win column again after the All-Star break. 9-1 against the Texas Rangers. Tomorrow we have Grayson Rodriguez on the bump versus Max Scherzer. Orioles going for the series win, and we will be here to react to it, win or lose. Hit them with